Four of the five officers charged in Tyree Nichols' death had prior violations at work. This is the image. The image from video released on January 7, 2023. That was Tyree Nichols' death. That's when it was taken. But let me just read this. Four of the five former Memphis police officers who have been charged in the death of Tyree Nichols are previously enfranchised with the department, according to Memphis police personal records shared with NPR. Haley, Demetrius Haley, you're stating all their names. Demetrius Haley. In August, he started with the department in August 2020. He violated department policy when in February 2021, he did not fill out a response to resist form after he grabbed the woman's arm to handcuff her. The forms must be filled out if an officer uses any part of the body to compel compliance, according to the file. Now, I couldn't find Memphis PD files as far as response to resist. This is Lincoln Department. This is another department. This is how the forms look like. Each department is obviously different, but he has to fill this out. He has to give his name, date of incident, time of incident, local report number. Eventually he has to put all his formalities in there. Display of firearm, pointing at suspect, use of firearm. This is what he has to give in the procedure, in the police department procedure. If he doesn't, he's taken to a certain court or a hearing rather. And all the details here, what went on, and when he applies a certain form of violence or resistance, when a suspect is resistant or something to that effect. He didn't even fill it out. In a hearing regarding the incident, Haley said he misjudged the amount of force needed to warrant filling out the form. So he said, I wasn't too rough, I didn't want to do it. His lieutenant said Haley was a hard-working officer. It's always with the hard-working. It doesn't matter. Everyone's going to say that. Who routinely makes good decisions, and he was sure that his limited event, Haley was given a written reprimand. Yeah, written what? Like a little slip. In August 2021, Haley crashed into a stop sign responding to a call about an aggravated assault and was given a traffic ticket. During hearing about the incident, Haley said that he was driving to the scene. A call came over the radio that one of the responding officers was holding a suspect at gunpoint and that he sped there only thinking about the officer's safety. I wonder, what's going through his mind. The hearing officer wrote that Officer Haley took full ownership of the accident and was very humble during the hearing. Yeah, I mean, if you're scared, you're gonna be humble. Desmond Mills Jr., that's the second of the four officers that have priors, basically, within the department. Mills graduated with a degree in criminal justice in 2013 and began at the Memphis Police Department in March 2017. March 2019, 2 years later, Mills violated procedure when he dropped his personal digital assistance (PDA) into the street while entering a squad car. The device was then run over by a separate car. I guess it's a mechanism to help their personal digital assistant, to help the job do better, maybe like a walkie-talkie communication device. He just dropped in the street and then was just run over. Carelessness and negligence, I mean, what if somebody picked that up, like a civilian or somebody that wanted to damage, you can't do that, right? Later that month, Mills failed to file a response to resistance form. Another one that, didn't file the form. That's their basic procedure. And that's just so careless and negligence. It's like, it's almost admitting guilt, in my opinion. It's circumstantial, but when you don't file that, it's not that you forgot, I didn't think I needed to, when, you have to do it. When he used physical force to take a woman down to the ground so she could be handcuffed and arrested. In the hearing in August 2021, Mills said he did not realize his actions necessitated use of the form and was again issued a written reprimand. As the second guy, like Haley, Mills Jr. as well, I don't think I need to do that. I feel like he's hiding something. Like he's hiding. He didn't want to tell the truth, and I mean, just so reckless. It's very like you got caught, but you don't want to admit you got caught. Martin graduated from Bethel University. Emmett Martin III. Yeah. Martin graduated from Bethel University in 2015 with a degree in criminal justice. Started the department in March 2018. March 2019, just a year later, a loaded handgun was found in the rear passenger side of a squad car used by Martin and his partner. Martin said he failed to do a proper pre and post shift inspection and only inspected the car from the outside. What, pressure in the tires, scratches? What are you inspecting? I mean, that's just a poor excuse. During his shift that day, he and his partner conducted 2 traffic stops in which the suspects were placed in the back seat where the handgun was found. Additionally, the officers did not do inspections after the suspects left the vehicle as is protocol. Martin was issued a 3-day suspension without pay. Just a 3-day suspension without pay? Wow, he really suffered, huh? According to the files. In September 2020, Martin violated protocol by mishandling a domestic abuse complaint between 2 sisters, one of whose husband requested a report. One of whose Martin did not take the report and said that he did not believe one was necessary, reasoning that the parties involved were intoxicated and the man's wife, the alleged victim of abuse, did not want the report. The responding officers, including Martin, threatened the involved parties that if they had to take a report, both sisters would be arrested, according to department records. Fellow officer and lieutenant at the disciplinary hearing defended Martin, saying the victim didn't want a report and Martin is not one to shirk responsibility. I mean, he butchered that one, but it's not clear to me. I mean, whether you write the report the call was made, he just seems like he's reckless, and who knows what's going on in there. Memphis police officers are directed by Department of Police policy and state law to make a complete report on the scene of domestic abuse calls. So he has to take down a report. The hearing officer wrote, officers cannot base their decisions to arrest based on the victim's consent or on the perception of the victim's willingness to cooperate with prosecution. Yeah, I feel like, the call is made, the report has to be made. Martin was issued in a 1-day suspension without pay. So that's the second offense. The ones that are reported on. In 2021 performance evaluation, Martin ranked as exceeding, I don't want to hear about his, performance, this and that. Yeah, he treats people regardless of their sex. Well, Justin Smith. Smith began at the apartment in 2018. January 21, he was passing a vehicle and crashed into its rear, causing it to spin and crash into the third vehicle, which had 2 people inside. All parties were sent to the hospital in non-critical condition. Smith said that the driver's second vehicle went right and then left his lane suddenly. He admitted to speeding, but his memory was somewhat unclear due to his minor head injury from the airbag, according to a summary from the disciplinary hearing. I mean, do people really believe that? Was he lying? Was he high? Was he drunk a little? Who knows if these cops don't take a couple pills here and there. His memory was unclear. It wouldn't be like that. I think that would be a heavy trauma if his memory was unclear. Smith was issued a citation, suspended for 2 days without pay, in order to take a remedial driver training. Remedial driver, see, like 2 of them need remedial driver training. Maybe they shouldn't even have a license. And there's Tadarius Bean. He started in August 2020. Roughly a little bit over 2 years, and he didn't get caught yet. He didn't violate, on their principles. But I'm pretty sure he's hardworking and he cares about people based on not on the race, sex, gender, religion, and obesity. I mean, the ridiculousness of these people have the right to report is absurd, And here are the crooks with their mugshots. Yahoo, wrote a summary of them as well. It's pretty much the same thing, except it goes in Mills in detail, so I'll read it here. The records show that Mills failed to submit a response to resistance form after using force to assist officers with arresting a woman in 2019. According to the case summary, the woman was apparently drunk and resisting arrest, so Mills grabbed her by the arms, taking her down to the ground. He then placed her arms behind her back, and another officer put handcuffs on her. The case summary stated, Mills later received a written reprimand for not filling out the response to resist form, according to the records. The records show Haley also failed to. Oh, that's the same one. I see. I thought it would have been the same person, but all right. Haley And, Haley responds to resist form. He didn't submit a response to resist form after using force to assist other officers with arresting a woman in 2021, another female. According to the case summary, Haley grabbed her by the arms and turned her around to be handcuffed as she resisted arrest. He then helped another officer with putting her in the back seat of a squad car. The summary case stated the woman blamed one of the other officers on scene for dislocating her shoulder during the encounter. Haley later received a written reprimand for not filling out the response to resist form, according to the records. Haley, Mills, Bean, Moore, and Smith were involved in the traffic stop that allegedly led to Nichols' death last month. Right. I mean, it just the violations of these cops. It mounts up. But the fact that they don't want to follow protocol, it just seems like they're reckless, and also they got a lot of things to hide. Where's this from? I forgot where this is from. This is from Anderson PD. AndersonPD.com. I just found it on a simple Google search, and it's the form that they have to fill out. Response to resist form when an incident happens. I guess when a subject tries to resist or there's some physical contact, they have to fill one of these out. And I mean, this is just so easy. I'm pretty sure if you look at the form, I guess this is the narrative threat to officers and officers' activities to flee. Here's the type of resistance response. I mean, you just check this form, this and that, and then circle the area of impact or injury, photograph or injuries. If there's any injuries, you have to they fill that out. This only take a couple minutes. It's standard procedure. So the two of them never really filled any of these out, and they had a hearing about that. But I mean, this is what goes on in these cops. They're pretty much just they're playing with they don't play by the rules. They don't play by the legal rules, and I am kind of shocked that there were black cops, all of 5 of them were black, and then that's a black person. That there was no race related. Who knows if he just insulted them? Because I insulted cops before, and they will wreak havoc on you. I mean, I survived. I didn't die, but he must have said something to him. Just said something. He wasn't even guilty. And even if he was guilty of something, that's just injustice. It's pretty much what that is. And they have priors. They have priors. I don't think they should have been. They shouldn't have been driving, and they should have been touching people regardless.